All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Approaching the end of season 13. It's round 11. We're approaching the end of the F1 cycle. Be our season 13 champion here in Division 1, and as you can see, we are at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, what is considered obviously, with this being league racing, it's not much about the danger of the drivers, but nevertheless it is very easy to make a mistake in here, and the walls will not forgive you for any mistakes you make here at this track. And both in real life and in league racing, it always produces exciting races all the way up until the end, and I'm sure we're gonna see lots of action both here in qualifying and also when the race starts. Now, this race is obviously crucial for our championship contenders. As always, it is the same two drivers, Kartracer and Felix. Now, why it is crucial? Because obviously the championship could be decided today in the, in my opinion, very unlikely case that Kartracer outscores Felix by 15 points. Because right now they are 10 points apart, with Kartracer leading. If Kartracer makes that gap go to 25 points at the end of this race, he will be already crowned world champion tonight. But we all know how these two always race wheel to wheel all the way up until the end, so I still think we're gonna have to wait up until the last race to see who's gonna be champion. But we never know, anything can happen in Formula 1 and in league racing, and it usually does. But right now we will be on board with the McLaren of Jeremy to see a lap here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Now coming into turn 1, it's already a chicane, a left to right, taking a lot of the curb. Now very careful on the exit with the traction, and we are already done with turn 1, 2 and 3. Now into turn 4, be very careful not to hit the wall on the inside, and Jeremy avoids that very cleanly. And now into the very fast sequence of corners from 6 to 12. You can carry a lot of speed in here, just be careful not to bottom out on the curb, and Jeremy takes the exit curb very nicely, and at the end of sector 1 it's a 32.0. Now into turn 11 with positive camber, stay all the way up to the inside and then go to the exit, and now prepare yourself for the chicane of turn 16 and 17, coming right now, right to left. Watch out with this curb, because he can unsettle the car very much, and he exactly does that with Jeremy, as he has quite a big oversteer that definitely impacts us. Sector 2 is done. Now into the chicane of turn 22, 23 and 24, and now onto the DRS in sector 3, almost flat out, but it is very long, it is very fast. And now onto the last corner, turn 27, very careful on the braking here and on the traction as well. This is the corner where Max Verstappen didn't end his majestic lap, and Jeremy, with an oversteer, decides to come into the pits and to not finish the lap. But right behind him we will have the Alfa Romeo of Tom setting the first lap of this session, and it's gonna be at 26.802 the first lap. Now there's an Alfa Tauri right behind, it's always setting at 28.5, very far off the pace, but it's a Ferrari coming up to the line, and it is Felix with provisional pole position, 26.547 for the Ferrari. And now there's a Haas of Rudy, but he's about to start a lap. There is the Red Bull of Edwin about to finish his first lap. Where will Edwin place himself? It's a 27.4 into provisional P3. Now also the McLaren of Sully P4 with a 28.3, and Tyler reserving last minute. It's been quite a long time since I last seen Tyler race, showing his availability right at the last possible seconds. It's P6 for Tyler, 28.4, but Kartracer, look at these gaps, because actually I will show you these gaps, because it's 39 thousandths from Kartracer and Felix. On the banker lap, these two are already giving in everything, already being very close in terms of pace. but on the first lap, at the moment, Felix is the fastest on track. Now with a 26.5, so at the moment we are looking at mid 26, but with improvement and with perfectionizing the lap. Don't remember if that's the exact word for it, but anyway, if you do a perfect lap, I think with this pace we will see low 26 by the end of qualifying. So yeah, Rudy in the Haas sets himself in P3 for now. It's a 26.6, so definitely another car to look out for today. So at the moment the top 4 are very close on pace. It's gonna be interesting if these two drivers actually keep challenging the championship runners, because it might shuffle the situation by quite a lot. It's gonna be interesting to see, and anything can happen at this track. You never know who's gonna DNF, when he's gonna DNF, if it's gonna DNF, because it is very likely, but at the same time it also produces great racing, even if crashes are very likely to happen. Phantom sets a 152.9, that's very off the pace, and I do think that's purely on pace. I don't think he made a mistake on his lap. I think that's the most Phantom can push for today. I know Phantom is listening to me right now. Jeremy, now in the McLaren, starting and does. I'm gonna look at the map real quick again, because right now, well, I mean, these corners are they just come one right after another, and and Jeremy's off, and it's already 2 mistakes in 2 laps for Jeremy. No lap time set. He needs to protect that P3 in the driver standings, but at the moment he's gonna have to work more than usual to do that. And we are already seeing the effects of Jeddah when trying to pull the lap. It's just so easy to make a mistake. So Jeremy is still without a lap time, but so is Bazooka. But he is about to start right now. As you see, Rudy disconnecting and then joining back again. Great to see. Now the Alpine will set its lap. In the meanwhile, there was an improvement from Edwin, I think, or from Tyler actually. Yeah, I think it was Tyler with a 27.1. Sets himself in P5. Now, Bazooka is approaching what it is, turn 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and they just come so fast, one after another. It's very hard to keep track of it. But anyway, it's the end of sector 1, 32.2, so 2 tenths lower than what we've seen from Jeremy in his first lap that he didn't complete. Actually, Jeremy completed a lap, but it's 135. But now Bazooka approaching the chicane of turn 16 and 17. There's so many corners on this track. It's also one of the longest. It's 6.1 kilometers long. So it's gonna be 50 laps, 25 right now here in League Racing, and it is the track with the most corners. As Bazooka goes off, but the game doesn't invalidate. The game doesn't invalidate the lap. He went off at the chicane of 22 to 24, being completely outside the curb, but actually it looks like the game decided to make it valid. And the Alpine will set himself, what's it gonna be? Maybe below Sully? Yeah, below Sully. It's at 28.4, P9 for now, but if Jeremy and Phantom improve the lap time soon, I think Bazooka could drop down to P11. So he definitely needs to find more pace than he can actually show right now. But Jeremy, I think, is about to finish the lap right now. It's gonna be 27, no, it's actually 26.8. He sets himself in P5, just half a tenth behind the Alfa Romeo of Tom. What about Tom? He's just started a lap, and we have 7 minutes and a half left before the end of qualifying. It's still quite some time left. I think you can do laps 2 laps if you come out right now. But I don't know, Felix and Cat Racer are not coming out. Tom is improving by 68 thousandths in the meanwhile. He's gonna have to find more time if he wants to set himself into the top 3. But I was saying, Felix and Cat Racer are not coming out to the pits right now, so I think they're close to the personal best at the moment, and they just wanna give it everything on the new fresh of softs. What did I say? New fresh, new sets of softs. Tom improving by barely a tenth in the meanwhile. So yeah, the championship runners, I think they're gonna wait to do only 1 lap on low fuel to try and find as much lap time as possible. So we're gonna have to wait just a few minutes. But in the meanwhile, Tom, he's improving by only 1 tenth. It's not gonna be enough to improve positions, but he actually finds more time. He sets himself into P2. He splits the championship runners all of a sudden, and we're gonna have to look at those gaps real quick because what do I see? It's 22 thousandths from Tom to Felix, 39 from Cat Racer to Felix, and what it is, it's 17 thousandths from Tom and Cat Racer, and also 92 from Rudy to Felix. So these top 4, we will definitely need to look out for them in the race that's about to begin. Now Rudy has just finished sector 1, showing purple. It could be actually purple since, you know, is near the top of the field. So this might actually be a faster sector 1, as he has goes into this very fast section, all the way flat out up until this chicane. It's improving by 3 tenths. An absolute flyer from Rudy. He's gonna set himself to pole position if he finishes this lap. Now he finishes sector 2. It shows purple. Rudy in the Haas on an absolute flying lap right now, and now approaching turn 27. He needs to get it absolutely right to finish this lap, and he does get it right. 3 tenths from Felix, and Rudy gets provisional pole position. What an absolute flying lap from the Haas driver, and it's gonna be a very big risk for Felix of Cat Racer, because they both need to maximize as many points as possible, and qualifying will also play a big part in that. So if they cannot get pole position right now, I reckon it's gonna impact their fight a lot. It's 4 minutes left before the end of qualifying. Edwin is about to finish the lap, and no, actually he's coming into repeats. So apart from Rudy in the in lap, there are no cars on track. 3 minutes and a half left. So we'll wait for some time. Not much time though, before we see everyone going back on track and to set their last lap, to see if anyone can find a minimum of 3 tenths to challenge for pole position. It's a minimum of 3 tenths, you know, for Felix, Tom and Cat Racer. Everyone else is gonna have to find a lot more time to keep up the pace with Rudy right now. And Tyler will be the first one to come out in this last phase of qualifying. Then right behind him, it's the Alfa Romeo of Tom, AlphaTauri of Always. Then there is also the Alpine of Bazooka. Rudy is back into the pits. And McLaren is coming out. It is Jeremy. There is also the Ferrari, the Mercedes. Okay, so everyone is going out again. 2 minutes and a half. Well, it is more than enough time to complete a lap, but that's the thing. It's gonna be only 1 lap, 1 chance, 1 shot to get this track, to get this lap absolutely right, absolutely perfect, which is very hard to nail a completely perfect lap in this track. You have to you truly have to be perfect to find that lap time. Because, well, I mean, Jeddah is an extremely satisfying track to drive in qualifying. In the race, you definitely need to look out a lot more than other tracks, because it is very dangerous, because you are so close to the walls with very, very high speeds. Because like it's not like Monaco. Because Monaco, you're still very, very close. It is the track where you are closest to the walls, but you have much lower speeds compared to Jeddah right here. So that's what makes this a very exciting track, especially in qualifying, but also in the race. But anyway, we're gonna go back to commentating, because Tyler is improving by 85 thousandths, and then right behind him it's the Haas, but it's on the out lap. Now Tom has started the lap, and then there is the Alpine and the McLaren, but we're gonna stay on board with Tyler for now, because he's about to finish sector 2 now, going around turn 20 and 21 and 22. He's approaching the white line. It's an improvement by 178 thousandths, so almost 2 tenths. He can find time up to 2 tenths if he improves even this final corner, because if he finds that tenth more, he could challenge for pole position. No, actually no. Oh no, I was confused with Tom actually. So he can go up to P5. And Tyler across the line, it's 26.9. He actually doesn't go up into P5, and that's P6 or even lower for Tyler. But now the championship runner-up, he's out on track and he's not improving. He's down by 52 thousandths. What about Cat Racer? He started right now going through, Tyler crashed. Let me see the Haas of Rudy. Yes, Tyler crashed on the exit wall of turn 4, and that's qualifying down for the Alfa Romeo. But we'll go back to commentating lap time, because Catrice is not improving as well. He's down by 12 thousandths. Now what about the Ferrari Flix? Out of sector 2, it's barely an improvement by 6 thousandths only, and right behind him there is Edwin. I don't see the improvement though. What about the Aston Martin Phantom, improving by 3 tenths? That's a very great lap time. But what about Felix? He needs to get that pole position as soon as possible if he wants to gain that many points on Cat Racer. And Felix is actually back into the pits. Wait, no, yes, okay, he's out on track, and he barely improves by 10 thousandths, and he stays into P3. What about Cat Racer? He's improving also barely by 76 thousandths, but it might be just enough to place himself ahead of Felix. In the meanwhile, Phantom sets himself into P8, but what about Cat Racer? The Mercedes will go into P3. It's an improvement by 1 tenth and a half, sets himself into P3 and ahead of Felix, and this is gonna be, I reckon, very crucial for the championship and for the results of this race. I mean, obviously anything can happen in the race compared to qualifying, but in this crucial situation, trying to gain as many points as possible in every race, because it's crucial for the championship, even qualifying matters. But it's the Haas of Rudy on pole position with a 26.2, and right behind him it's Tom in the Alfa Romeo at 26.3. Cat Racer in P3 and Felix in P4. Jeremy sets himself into P5 and Tyler into P6. Going into the 27th, Edwin is in P8, Phantom in Edwin P7, Phantom P8, Bazooka P9. Always runs up the top 10, and Sally will start with a 28.2 in P11. So that's gonna be the grid order for this Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Only 11 cars, but we don't care, because also last time we raced at Jeddah we also had around 11 to 12 cars in Division 1, and I remember it was still an exciting race nonetheless. So I'm sure we will not be disappointed tonight, and we will be looking forward to a lot of action left, right and center, everywhere, anytime, and we are ready for it. But the drivers are still not ready, because they're selecting the strategies and the fuel, maybe making some minor setup changes, because there are actually park permits to consider as well. You know, it's those little improvements that could actually make up for the lap time, or to make overtaking easier. It's up to the drivers right now if they want to make those changes, and they're making the changes right now. And we're gonna wait not for that long, I guess. And now that I think about it, also the tire compounds will be interesting. Anyway, it's 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's gonna be 25 laps of racing action, and there's already a crash. It's Jeremy crashed out already on lap 1 of the start, and we have yellow flags. What is it? It's catches and gets a 5-second penalty. Already chaos. We haven't even got past turn 1. There is already chaos happening. Jeremy has DNF'd, not even making it outside of his grid. And catches and got a penalty for a collision with Tom. I have no idea what happened, but we have a virtual safety car. Race has already been neutralized within 5 seconds of the start. It's a 5-second penalty, which will be crucial when the pit stop phase actually comes. And Felix will have to make advantage of it as soon as possible. What about strategies? Mostly mediums, 3 drivers on hards, and only Tyler on the softs. And within 5 seconds of the start, we went from 11 drivers to only 10. And well, I mean, I have no idea if he got touched from behind, or if he spun on his own, like coming off the grid. No idea. But well, that's Jeddah for you. That's the Jeddah effect. So yeah, it's a virtual safety car. Yellow flags are being waved all over the track, but they're still very close. Okay, it's green flags. Racing has resumed, and we have Felix and Tom already almost bumping each other already into lap 2. And the Ferrari, is he gonna make a move on the inside, maybe on the outside? Actually, DRS is still not enabled, but Tom has a look up at the inside, and he has to back out. But Felix gets a beautiful exit around the outside. The momentum actually made him make the move, and now he's into P2 with Tom having to defend that podium place, and with Catch Racer very slowly approaching right behind. But now Tom is only 2 tenths apart from Felix. They are already giving him everything in these early laps of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Rudy will obviously love this if he wants to defend that P1. In the meanwhile, Tyler is into the pits. And he's changing onto mediums. Is he changing the front wing as well? I don't know. Well, it's 29 seconds, so yeah, maybe he changed his front wing. Maybe he got damage from the lap 1 from the start incident. Maybe he was involved as well into Jeremy's DNF, but that's gonna be looked at later. But now Felix, he's already showing himself into the rear mirrors of Rudy, only barely 1 set apart, and he takes the outside line before turn 27. Is he gonna actually keep the move? And he stays in P1. And yes, he makes the move. It is now Felix leading the race, and Rudy and Tom are gonna have to try very hard to take that position off of him. And at the moment, Erwin has the fastest lap. I don't know if DRS is enabled yet, because okay, so it's on lap 3. DRS is enabled, and at the moment it looks like Catch Racer is the closest car to the one in front, less than 2 cents apart from Tom. But let's remember, he has the penalty from the collision on the first lap. and he's gonna have to make up for this time later on in the race. But right now it's only lap 3, and we already see Kart Racer a little bit compromising his line and losing some speed, and that allowed Edwin to actually join into this fight, and we have this DRS train for the top 5. And Edwin also with the mediums, he's gonna have to use his compound advantage as much as possible. Maybe even make a move as soon as possible, because like it's gonna be, I think, 3 or 4 more laps until the hards start being faster than the mediums. So yeah, the grid actually split into 2 groups, top 5 and bottom 5. As we see, Phantom and Sully fighting for P6. Sully with the DRS taking the outside line, and he goes back to the normal racing line. He gets moved down, but Rudy and Felix are battling on the main straight. Who's gonna have DRS is gonna be Felix with the DRS on the Haas, and now Tommy inviting back into the fight. It's a 3 wide before turn 1. Who's gonna be ahead? Rudy stays in the center, and they contact with Tom a little bit. Felix has the best of it as he defends that P1, but what about Rudy and Tom in catches as well? Tom almost going side by side into turn 4, but he has to back out, and now Kart Racer is almost bumping him all the way up to this very fast S section. Not the only S section on this track, but yeah, it was looking very, very close in those corners. I was almost scared that they were gonna crash, but it didn't crash yet. Maybe, we don't know. But yeah, Felix has made the move to get the P1 again. Right now it is looking very, very good in Felix's hands and in Felix's championship situation. But now Rudy has the DRS right before the sector 3, and he's still staying very close behind. The curb almost settled this car a little bit, but not by that much. But actually Tom is closer to Rudy, and he's gonna try to stick the car on the outside. No, he actually has to back out before the braking zone. But can he keep that momentum to actually be faster? No, he can't. He's gonna have to wait. But Rudy will have DRS right now onto the main straight, and I reckon he's gonna go down the inside before turn 1. But watch out for Tom and Kart Racer as well. Are they gonna go 3 wide? Almost. But Rudy blocks the racing line to stop Felix to attack again, and now Felix is into P2, and now Tom and Kart Racer are battling again, and Kart Racer is actually being slowed down by Tom by quite a lot, because he always tries to stick his car alongside to make a move, but he gets blocked, or he cannot get past before the braking zone, and that's losing him quite a lot of time, because he needs to get back into the top 3 as soon as possible. He needs to gain as much time as possible before he loses. He cannot afford to be slowed down this much in these early stages of the race, although we are already on lap 5, so it's already 20% of this race completed, and at the moment it looks like a fight for the race win between Rudy and Felix. But let's watch out for Tom, because he's approaching very closely right now to fence as Felix gets the outside line of turn 27. They still go side by side. Felix running a little bit deep, and Tom on the inside, but he cannot keep the speed, and he stays in P3. But now Rudy is back into P1, and Felix with the DRS, he goes on the outside line of turn 1, and Tom is also side by side, but he has to back out in the braking zone, and Felix changes position with Rudy once again, changing between P1 and P2. Tom still has to settle for P3, and Kart Racer needs to find a way around that Alfa Romeo. But right now on lap 6, it's not gonna be long before those hards actually start being faster. But also Edwin is struggling to make those mediums work, because he's still stuck in P5, and he goes a little bit off track. There might have been a warning for track limits, but yeah, Edwin he's not using the Terra compound to his advantage. He also needs to find a little bit more pace. He's effectively in P4 right now, but he's gonna have to stay consistent and to you know, puts in those consistent lap times to not lose that much time. But we're gonna go back to the leaders now, because Rudy is 2 tenths away from Felix. Onto the DRS in sector 3. Who's gonna stay on the inside? Rudy is actually gonna stay on the inside, but is he actually going wheel to wheel on turn 27? He is, or maybe he's not. He's staying on the inside to try and keep as much speed as possible, but Felix is still leading, and indeed Felix does not have DRS, so Rudy will actually make a move again into 1 and catches with a little look up the inside to try and get past Tom, but he's still struggling to make that move work. Rudy and Felix exchange positions again. It is Felix right now in P2, and catches is still, I mean, I'm repeating the same things every lap. These guys need to get past, but Edwin for some reason has fallen out of DRS from catches. Oh, and he bottoms out on the curb. He's out of the track. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think he might have had something similar earlier. That's why he lost DRS. So the DRS train is only limited to the top 4 right now, but they're not making moves. So I'm actually gonna go on board with Always, because he's getting close to Sully with the DRS, but Sully is also gonna have DRS. Catch Racer is getting closer to Tom. Is he actually gonna make the move? Finally, they both have DRS. They go side by side, but no, Catch Racer still has to back out. But he has a wonderful exit out of the chicane. He has much more speed now, both with the DRS, but Catch Racer needs to get past as soon as possible, while Rudy is still defending from Felix, and Catch Racer stays on the inside, and he goes up into the podium positions. Now he's into P3. He has finally made a move against Tom, but he's gonna have to defend it real quick, because Tom still has the DRS. But what about Felix and Rudy? Because Felix is moving on the inside, Catch Racer with a little look up in the inside as well, but they're side by side, Rudy and Felix, through turn 2 and 3, and it looks like Rudy has the better exit, and yeah, Felix has to fall back into the racing line once again. He's gonna have to wait a few corners to actually try and get past the Haas, but Catch Racer has finally moved himself into P3. I think this is right now where the hards are actually faster than the mediums, with 7 laps old tires. I think that's where the difference is showing. Tyler and Edwin fighting. They're fighting out of the pits. As Edwin has pitted, maybe he got wing damage. Maybe that's why he lost that time earlier behind Catch Racer. So yeah, Edwin and Tyler right now are, well, on very much different strategies, but they are fighting for those last points in P10 and P9. What about Felix? Because he's 1/10 apart from Rudy, and he obviously still has DRS, but so does Catch Racer, and so does Tom, who actually fell back a little bit. As we have this sky view, we don't have the sky view anymore, and I reckon Felix will make the move into the turn 1 chicane again, because I mean that's the most common place for overtakes around here. And he moves up the inside. So does Catch Racer, but still needs to. Oh, Felix with the rear locking. He goes off the track. He absolutely missed the braking point into turn 1. He locked the rear and is now down into P4, and that's lost him quite some crucial time. Rudy is back into the lead, but right now it is Catch Racer in P2 following the race leader, and Felix needs to make up that time lost from that mistake. Now into P4, he needs to get past Tom as quickly as possible to recover from that mistake. In the meanwhile, Phantom has got up to P5 with Always and Sully following real closely behind, but Phantom right now looking very solid with 10 points at the moment. A little bit of a slider, but not that much. And if he can stay consistent, I think he can gain some time from Phantom. If he doesn't lose time by battling with Always behind, he can gain some time to Felix ahead. But Felix, with that mistake that could have ended a lot worse, but he's lucky to get on track. Tom and Cat Racer fighting for position, fighting for P2 as Tom gets ahead, very easily done. Cat Racer is now into P3, and now Felix chasing the championship leader as always, and Phantom are also battling for P5 and P6, but we'll go back to Felix because he has the DRS. Cat Racer does not have DRS, but it's still not enough for Felix to make a move. What about Phantom? He has the DRS on the Alpha Tauri of always, but he still needs to stay in the racing line and to brake. Felix is 1 tenth apart now from Cat Racer, going around turn 5 and 6, I think it's it, and he's following very close behind, slightly missing the apex, slightly compromising his racing line, but actually the exit was much better. He's getting the slipstream, he's getting closer, but still 1 tenth apart, it is still not enough. But in the meanwhile, with all this fighting, Cat Racer has fell out of DRS with Tom. This might be crucial because right now we only have 2 cars fighting for the race lead, and Cat Racer and Felix are not fighting for the win, they're fighting for the podium, and that podium could be very much crucial in the championship. And Cat Racer is trying to fall away, and Tyler has crashed, and we have a full course safety car. Tyler in the Alfa Romeo has crashed at the exit of the exit of turn 12, the very fast S section in sector 1. That's where he crashed. That's the race over for the Alfa Romeo, and the safety car has been called out on track. Now this is gonna be very interesting for the strategies, but I think the hard runners will go to mediums and the medium runners will go to hards, and we'll definitely try to make it up until the end. As you see, Rudy in the ass during the pit stop, I think he's definitely going to mediums. And yes, indeed, mediums. Tom is actually going on the softs. Interesting, as Felix goes to the hards. Cat Racer now finally serving that penalty, but that lost him how many positions? He hasn't lost any positions actually. That's wonderful news for Cat Racer, because he was slowed down with the penalty, with the 5-second penalty at the pit stop, but still he hasn't lost any positions. As Cat Racer is on fresh mediums, Felix is on fresh hards, Rudy fresh mediums, Tom fresh softs, and I'm not sure what he's trying to do. But for the rest of the grid, always is on the hards, Phantom on the mediums, Sully and Bazooka on the hards, and Edwin on the mediums. So Tom is the only one on softs right now. Doing 15 laps, it is very much of a stretch. I don't think those softs will last until the end. So either he's trying to save the tires as much as possible, or he's gambling for another safety car, like thinking, I'm gonna go fast right now with the softs so that another safety car comes later and I can actually go to the end with mediums. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. But still, he could have gone with the mediums right now to have the softs at the end with less laps left. I'm not sure what he's trying, but anyway, I'm not sure if the safety car is gonna go in this lap. The grid, he's already back together with only 9 cars left, but actually I think the safety car, yeah, it will go back into the pits at the next lap. So if we resume on lap 13, like at the end of lap 12, we're gonna have 13 laps of racing after the safety car. As all the grid is going past the finish line again to start the last lap of safety car. It's also a crucial opportunity to to recover ERS, to recover energy, and to manage the fuel, you know, saving fuel if you underfuel the car, or burning fuel if you overfuel the car. That's also what the safety car advantages are, because you get a chance of managing your strategy from scratch, and also the energy left into the ERS and the fuel left in the car. As all of the cars are safely going around turn 13. Now, I think Tom with the softs will definitely try to make a move on Rudy as quickly as possible. And Cat Racer on the mediums will try to get past Felix as soon as possible too. Tracer will use the occasion to actually go back into the lead, and then eventually Tom's tires will drop out very soon because they're soft, so they wear out very quickly. So Cat Racer will definitely try to have the best of restart to actually challenge for the lead, and Felix will play the card of having less tire wear. But right now we're looking at the safety car restart by Rudy, and it's gonna happen. It's already happened after the safety car restart, and Rudy is already building a gap. He's 9/10 away from Tom in P2. Felix will need to, and he's only 2/10. He's taking all of the slipstream possible, but the stream actually glitched out. I don't want to miss any important moments, so I'm gonna restart right now.